are household names in the game. Konstantin Fedorov is the best pure killer in the sport, and he was a big reason Houston Heat was so dominant during his 2 years with that team. Sergei Sonaiskov and Miska Kiesnev were the two other Russian sensations on Heat with Fedorov, and they are as good as it gets. Adding to the firepower Art Chaos is bringing to the fight is the 2012 Top Gun Award winner Alexander Birnikov, who made the move to Chaos after spending his entire career with Moscow Red Legion. Surrounding those stars is a cast who were stars with their former teams, including Axel Godin and Clint Moore. Add in a bunch of young Russian killers, and you have a team who could win events in the PSP this season.
Welcome to Saturday's competition here at the 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. It is about to go down. First game is going to be Chicago Aftershock against Art Chaos. Man, can't wait to see this game. We are here at one of the best fields on the East Coast. Rick Carver runs an awesome field out here, man. Walk on, big games, speedball, and some of the best in the business, man. Shock has really impressed a lot of people yesterday. Aftershock had two really solid games. They beat Los Angeles Infamous yesterday morning, and then they they lost to San Diego Dynasty 5-3. That was a pretty close game. So I'm Eddie Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. Todd, how you doing this morning?
I'm feeling real good, Matty. You know, can't wait to see how this game's going to play out. We got Aftershock, you know, who looked pretty good in both games yesterday. Infamous, you know, that was a big win for them. And on top of that, you know, Art Chaos dropping both games yesterday. Definitely not the first day in the Champions Division that they had wanted to have. But, you know, we got some resilient players on that team who know how to win. You know, we've talked about this all day yesterday. Fully expect to see a different team from them yesterday, make some adjustments. And, you know, let's see what they got here, because they have a chance. You know, there's always a chance you can win 2 games today and still try and make it in. So,
well,
you know, we'll see.
How crazy was that bracket? I mean, yesterday we had the Ironman who played Art Chaos and won that game 4-3, and then the Ironman played to a tie against Infamous. So, I mean, we saw a bunch of ties yesterday. So the Ironman went 1-0-1. Dynasty went 2-0. They played great. Art Chaos went 0-2. No one thought that was going to happen, like you said. So that's the big question. You know, when Art Chaos came into this league, a lot of people considered them a favorite immediately, and rightfully so, because they have 4 of the best players that we've seen in the, 3 of the best we've seen in the past 10 years. And when Sergei Sonaiskov came on to Houston, he really earned his upper echelon pro stripes pretty fast. Everyone was like, oh my God, Sergei is legit. And then Heat went on to win a ridiculous amount of tournaments for the 2 years that they were with the team. But then Art Chaos comes in and really struggles yesterday and didn't quite have that swagger that they normally have. And that is kind of one of the things that I think is the question that I would like answered today is, you know, when Art Chaos normally plays, you can see body language. They're walking around confident, chests out. They're not kind of lackadaisical. And yesterday, when things started to go bad, I don't know, that you can kind of see that swagger go away.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, you know, we know that it takes some time just to come out, be comfortable, you know, get back into your routine. And this is the first time this team has played together in the Champions League, and you know, we'll see if they can do something, get something going here against Aftershock.
So here we go, first point. Art Chaos on your screen on the left-hand side of the purple jerseys, and staying in the pocket. We saw, you know, we're going to see this most of the time here, but they send Fedorov out wide, but Fedorov made his first spot, but then Fedorov tries to push up into the snake, and he gets shot. On the flip side, Chicago Aftershock completely stays in the pocket. They only risk Carl Markowski slightly on the snake side. Carl made it out, so 5 bodies alive. First advantage is going to go Chicago Aftershock, and we might see a penalty on Mishka. Nope. Mishka gets pulled out. Just saw the referee run over there anytime you see the ref sprint in. So 2 players down, and it's 2 of their best. Miska Kiesnev and Konstantin Fedorov coming off early for Art Chaos.
And here comes A.J. Lawhead up the middle into that A Fortress. Played that really well yesterday. We saw him make some moves, break some games open against Dynasty, playing up that spot. Really good spot on the field. You know, we saw this a lot from Art Chaos yesterday too. Down bodies with Sergei and Lukashuk and Biernikov fighting. And here comes Biernikov trying to make a move. He gets chopped up by Lawhead underneath the A. So Lawhead jumps up to the snake side of the A.
Todd, the 3 legends for Art Chaos dying early here, and then the 4th one, Sergey Sonaiskov, he comes off. So, you know, Art Chaos is really going to struggle if they lose. I mean, they came out with their 5 best. This is the starting line that they had yesterday too, with Pavel Lukshuk, Mikhail Kiesnev, Sergey Sonaiskov, and Konstantin Fedorov with Alexander Burnakov. Now, when you're looking at those guys, man, you're talking about, I mean, seriously. I mean, Burnakov played with played with Moscow Red Legion, helped them win 10 tournaments, and be the most successful PSP team ever. And but again, struggling early on here.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You know, all those guys, Sergey, Mishka, I mean, those guys are very capable of going up and doing damage themselves. When you have a field like this, you know, with the tall tower in the back, it's great for Sergey because he's probably like 6'2", 6'3", you know, can stand tall and survey the whole field. But I really feel like the key to getting Art Chaos going is Konstantin Fedorov. You know, he's the guy that provides that flair when he gets going. It's like when it's like Kobe and the Lakers. You know, when Kobe gets going, the whole team seems to start hitting shots. You know, Fedorov's been coming out here to the snake side. We saw that last point, you know, kind of force that move a little bit. You know, we watched a bunch of games on this field yesterday, and it plays slow to start. You know, a lot of teams are waiting, you know, crossing it up and then, you know, trying to get out of body before they make a move. And I just feel like Fedorov's maybe trying to force it a little bit too early, you know, instead of just giving it a little bit of time to play out.
But Todd, tell me this. We saw Karl Markowski play a pretty good day yesterday over here on the snake side, and playing slow, playing smart, and Karl's known as that missile, that fast player always running and gunning to his spots. But I thought he played a pretty slow, methodical game over here most of the points that he was on this side. There's no reason to me why Konstantin Fedorov can't play that game.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing about the way Karl Markowski played was it was all about timing. He made the right moves at exactly the right time. They didn't break out 5-on-5, and then he tried to take off running to the snake, you know, to first move to break open the game. Karl waited, played patient, let Lawhead get up in the middle, let McKenna get up on the Dorito side, and then when everybody turned to those guys, made his way to the snake.
You know, and the thing is, you know, right now, as the day's competition plays itself out, we're going to find out. 2 of the games that I really love to watch the most are the relegation games in the Champions Division, because that is the most nail-biting games, because the teams that lose those games drop down to the Challengers Division. And it would be a shocker if Art Chaos dropped down to the Challengers Division. They just stormed through the Challengers Division to earn the right to play with the 10 best teams. And now they're down early here against Shock. Shock again staying in the pocket and then moving out on the D side of the field, spreading out wide. They did lose Rob Velez early, but Axel Godin got shot by Karl Markowski up the center. So 4-on-4 right now.
Yeah, and there goes McKenna out there to Dorito 1. Art Chaos, 4 bodies. 2 across the back in the towers. 1 in the snake side temple, 1 in the wing on the snake side. Karl Markowski matches him up.
There's Karl on your screen right now, hunting for a shot on that snake side. Like you said, matched up that Clint Moore? No, Pavel Karslev. So Karslev and Markowski in the same bunkers. There's Karl on your screen. He's going to squeeze you his gun real quick. He's looking inside. Very similar field position for these 2 teams right now.
That's Karslev right there on your screen. Number 92 from Art Chaos. Looking on the inside, going to come back to the snake side. That's AJ Lawhead in that can, the left side of the screen for Aftershock, pounding Karslev. Number 89, Roman Lazarev, right behind Karslev. Over here on the snake side for Art Chaos, as you see Chris Sosin make a move at the top of your screen.
Todd, I think Clint Moore might have got clipped trying to get out wide. No, he didn't. He made it in clean, so 4 players still alive for Art Chaos.
And here comes Karl Markowski. As soon as everybody looked towards the Dorito side, Karl Markowski comes right across into the 50 and instantly owns Lazarev. And now Karslev's going to be in a bad spot right now. Karl Markowski right there in the 50 snake. He's going to turn and post on him. There's Karl Markowski on the right of your screen.
And Todd, Karl is playing really calm in there. You know, he understands that he's the thorn in the side right now, and he's in a really good field position. So he's just kind of chilling out, waiting for his team to understand where he's in and how that has shifted the guns. Karslev completely focused on Markowski. And you can see Karl's listening to people in the stands right now. You can't coach from the sidelines, but you can yell from the stands. You know, we can't stop the fans from yelling. That would be, I mean, come on, it's a sport. You know, people are going to scream from the stands. So right now, Markowski in a good field position. You can see the eye in the sky version. And there's Karslev on the right-hand portion of your screen. Karslev tries to put Carl in and then wrap around, maybe get a shot. And that does work sometimes, but it is a perilous choice. Carl in the inside, there's Karslev, number 92 from Archaos, trying to look at Archaos. I'm sorry, trying to look at Markowski. Ooh, Markowski comes over the top. Karslev almost got a shot on him.
Oh, and there Carl Markowski owns Karslev right in the face and in the hand. And that's going to open up the door. Oh, Carl Markowski gets shot.
He got shot cross field, Todd.
Yeah, from that Dorito side corner.
It's that was
Zakharov. But
yeah,
then
Zakharov.
Clint Moore gets shot as well. So here comes Lawhead.
3-on-1 right now. Looks like Aftershock is going to score another point unless Zakharov pulls off something crazy here, and he's not able to do it. So Lawhead is going to polish off the last player for Archaos, and here comes Chicago Aftershock. Man, Chicago Aftershock is really impressing us in 2014. You can see there the coach for Chicago Aftershock, Mikey Bruno, done such a good job of guiding these younger players and really understanding what he needs to say to these guys at the right time, give them a lot of confidence that they need. In an interview yesterday, he was like, look, I don't think that we're undermatched against any of these teams. We should be able to beat any team out here, and starting to prove that right now. So we're going to be right back after this. Stick around.
Sir? You'll have AJ over your back.
At least this one. I'm Delta shooting.
So 2-0 is the score. Archaos getting off to another slow start. Todd, what do you think the problem is?
Well, that was their second squad that came in right there. We didn't see Mishka, Fedorov, Sergey. Both squads have gotten a chance to come out and get 1 point. I think that game they just got outplayed in the slow game by Aftershock, who's been playing the slow game really well. The chess game, as we have it here.
I'm just chuckling a little bit because 2 years ago, that was a contradiction in terms.
Completely. Completely. Aftershock is playing slow really well.
Yeah. I mean, that was the complete antithesis of Aftershock 2 years ago when they had all these divisional guys come up. But, it just goes to show you what's possible. So here now Archaos stays in the pocket. They do get Fedorov out a little bit, but he's going to get shot and come off. And then now streaking out to take that spot. So Fedorov struggling early here, 2 early deaths for him, but this time, the last time he got shot on the move from the back corner bunker to the snake, this time he actually got shot on his initial move out to his first bunker. But, Todd, that spot right behind the snake is tough to make too.
Yeah, Carl Markowski just made the snake on the break over here for Aftershock too. And, that's going to hurt losing Fedorov over here on the snake side because now Carl Markowski's in his spot off the get. And he's been playing it very, very well. Sergey Solnishkov is just going to have to beat down on Carl for the duration of this point, make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. But, I mean, somebody's got to step up for Archaos. If Archaos is going to put some points on the board and get a win today, somebody's going to have to step up and get this team going and get some fire. Right now everybody's just kind of playing on their heels and, just gun battling wherever they can as Bierdnikov turns right as Carl Markowski jumps into the 50 and doesn't get a shot in on him. So now Carl Markowski back into the 50 really quick. And Aftershock player Rob Velez fills in behind Markowski, going to give him some support over here on the snake side. This should give the Dorito guys a little bit more opportunity.
And Todd, when you have a guy like Carl who has been able to get up here on this very hard to make snake side. Carl's making it look pretty easy right now. It's a very difficult technical snake side of the field. But for people at home that don't understand, how important that is on a field like this, the gun swing over there, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, it's been really tough to get over here on the snake side, but once you get in, you have such good shots across the field. Everybody starts looking at you, and that's what Carl's been doing so well is once he makes that bump, the guns all swing on him, and then it opens up the Dorito side guys to make their moves, and vice versa. same thing. Like now that Carl's over here, he's leaning out the backside of the 50. He's shooting at the Dorito 1. The Dorito 1 forgot about playing straight ahead. Sergey's playing him. The snake guy that was in the temple was looking at the Dorito side. He just had to bump out here to the snake side corner now. He was looking at Carl. So the only one body all the way over here on the snake side is the only body looking at the Dorito side. So, you know, once Carl makes his move and all the guns turn on him, it opens up the side, the Dorito side, to now have less guns on them, less lanes being locked off, and more freedom to make moves.
And that's the magic words right there. Freedom to make moves, as we see a move being made by Aftershock to go and back up Carl. Back bunker on the snake side. Now Carl's got a little help over here. That's one more guy that they have to worry about on this side of the field. Carl still just working that bunker, going back and forth. And now Biernikov makes a move towards the snake side of the field to that insert bunker. And you can see all of our Chaos down on their knees, locked into those gunfights, realizing they have a giant thorn in their side over here on the 50-yard line. They need to do something about it. So finally making a move up there. Davey Simmons had got shot early, so as well as Konstantin Fedorov got shot by Velez. So it's 4-on-4 right now. Sosin, Lawhead, Velez, and Markowski out on the field right now for Shock. And Lawhead and Markowski both have 4 confirmed kills. And Todd, I'm looking at the confirmed kills for Art Chaos. This is their #1 line. They've only gone out once, but you know, only Mishka has a kill right now. And it was the kill against Davey Simmons here in this event. Or I'm sorry, in this point.
Yeah, but you know, Art Chaos is good at this game too, you know, locking it up and, you know, covering zones and communicating. But, you know, it's tough when, you know, you don't really want to try and win games like this. Karl Markowski just gets on his horse and tries to go bunker out the snake. Unable to get anybody, gets picked up by Sergey. But, again, Karl Markowski got halfway, almost all the way to Lukashuk before anybody picked him up because everybody was focusing on the Dorito side. But, you know, bold move right there by Karl Markowski, comes up empty. But Rob Velez takes that opportunity to bump into the snake 1. So still maintaining some field position.
Yeah, Todd, I feel that was a little bit, I mean, I understand the aggression, you know, and you're going to get that out of Carlos as part of his game, but, you know, not getting a guy is kind of big when it's 4-on-4. So now that puts Aftershock on their heels and allows Art Chaos to have a chance to try to pull within 1. They do have a 1-body advantage right now, and here comes a big move. Nobody had picked up Lukashuk, and Lukashuk comes down and trades out. Now it makes it a 3-on-2. Biernikov plays off that Chaos, and he digs out to the back bunker on the snake side. Now he makes his move up the snake. Moves being made on the D side as well as Mishka makes his move. So it's Sergey Mishka and Biernikov.
As Chris Sosin matches him up, comes out here to the snake side corner when Biernikov makes his move up to the snake. So 2 bodies left alive, 1 body in the Dorito 2. Chris Sosin down here in the snake corner. It's Lawhead and Sosin for Aftershock. 3-on-2. 10 minutes left to go now, halfway through this match.
Biernikov makes his move to the 50 snake. Huge point right now for Art Chaos to try to get back in this game. Are down by 2, and that's a big point spread when these points start to go real long. 9:46 on the clock. Biernikov working that 50 snake. Shoots towards the D side, then gets right back on Sosin, who is in that bunker, back bunker there. You can see Biernikov looking down the sideline. Head checking towards the D side, then he makes his move all the way past the 50-yard line. And Sosin is now gonna wrap around, and Biernikov gets triple tapped, it looked like in his goggles. Half of the side of his face is covered, he got shot. Was that crossfield shot, Todd?
Yeah, he got shot in the side of the face, came too far, heads up. Lawhead just smoked him in the side right there. Biernikov had to drop on him, it looked like too, but by the time he got in there, he was still focused on Sosin, and Lawhead just turned and gunned him down. So a 2-on-2 game right now. Biernikov could have slid in there and just made Lawhead work for it a little bit more. It would have given Mishka some time to make his move because he's all the way up in the Dorito 3. And now Mishka's looking to take this move, gets sat back down really quickly by Chris Sosin.
And at a certain point, the horn is going to have to be blown. It's 2-2. Sosin and Lawhead, they don't need to do anything. They just need to you know, try to do, well, they need to try to win the point, obviously, but they're winning this game. So if 8 minutes ticked off the clock, they would take the victory. And Mishka's making his move. He gets shot. So now that it's 2-on-1, yeah, they need to blow the horn. So they blow the horn. Shock is pumped right now.
Yes.
You see Lawhead getting trying to jump up and down and as soon as he realized that they now just went up 3 points, shutting out Art Chaos. God, wow. Who would have thought Art Chaos would come in here and stumble this hard? they lost 2 yesterday, looking like they might lose another one here if they don't pick it up. 8:24 on the clock. They definitely still have a chance. We'll be right back after this. Looking at Coach Mikey Bruno, stomping around in the pits, stoic-faced. Mikey has been, well, they're doing pretty well, so, but I was going to say he's been controlling his temper. Not quite the animated Mikey Bruno that we've seen throughout the years. But he's also sick, too. So we did an interview yesterday where Lauren had said something to him like, hey, Mikey, you're a really calm and collector. He's like, yeah, well, I'm really sick right now, so doing all I can.
Don't get used to it.
No. But things have been going well for them. But when things aren't going well, that man right there on your screen, it looks like his veins start popping out in his neck and his shoulders get scrunched like this, and it looks like his head is literally just gonna like explode off the top of his head. Yeah.
That's the way he used to play too. That's awesome.
It's so great. So now on the breakout, 5 strong for both teams, no penalties. Carl dives into the lake over there, and then here comes our Chaos on your screen, doubling up that back center bunker, trying to shoot out wide. Aftershock stuck in the pocket, and our Chaos is able to get up in the center, but here comes Lawhead, and he's gonna, Lawhead comes up and owns Sergei Solnaiskov. Here comes Karl Markowski. Karl Markowski, he does not know. Oh, and Karl Markowski, aggressive move, but did not realize that Birnikov was able to get all the way to the snake. So it's Miska Kesnev and Alexander Birnikov left alive. It's 2-on-2 right now, but Aftershock, I think, is going to concede that point. I don't know why they would do that. Why would you concede the point when you're up by 3 and every second that comes off that clock is going to do you a favor, and there's still 2 bodies left alive?
Oh, man, I think our Chaos.
Oh, our Chaos conceded the point? Oh, my God.
I don't think they knew that. I don't think their coach knew that Birnikov was alive. I think he thought it was a 2-on-1. Birnikov had the drop. Nobody knew that Birnikov was in the snake either.
That is a huge mistake. Huge, huge coaching error on Art Chaos. If that is indeed, well, it is 4-0 right now. So, and Art Chaos did concede the point. So, only logic would dictate that they did not see that their own player and one of their best in a 2-on-2 situation they'd already spread the field. Let's watch this replay right here. So you're looking at this Karl Markowski, who had ran all the way, dove in, way on our Chaos side of the field. Birnikov comes around, decimates his shoulder, and then starts owning that snake. And but the coach should have seen Markowski come out of there and said, okay, well, he died from somebody. Somebody shot him, and then quickly counted the bodies. There's only 2 of them out there. And, to give their team the best possible chance that they can have to, with the time left, to try to at least tie this game up. Now 4 points, less than 8 minutes to play.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, from the pit side over there, it's really hard to see what's going on in the snake. Like, you have to walk all the way down, almost halfway down the field just to be able to see what's going on down here. I bet he probably just didn't even see, because their pit's down on this side, too.
Todd.
And our Chaos started on this side. He just probably didn't see Birnikov, because Birnikov was in snake 1. There's only 2 Aftershock bodies alive, both stuck in that temple, and there was 2 Art Chaos bodies left. I bet he didn't see Birnikov. All saw his players walking off and thought it was a 2-on-1.
How does Art Chaos not have a drone hovering over the field, giving them all this information through some sort of computer? Come on. No, it's just it's sad to see if you're an Art Chaos fan out there, and there's a lot of Art Chaos fans really hoping that they come in here and do well in this just ridiculously strong PSP Champions division. And now Aftershock, pocket play. Looks like one of them gets taken out, so looks like Velez gets taken out early still. 4 players alive for Shock. Aftershock was able to take out Pavel Kyarzlev, so Kyarzlev is taking the walk early. Still Lazarev, Zakharov, Moore, and Godin left alive for Art Chaos. This is their second line. Aftershock, they have their heavy hitters Lawhead, Sosine, Davey Simmons, and Kurt Wozni out there.
As we see Axel Godin getting up into that Dorito too. Let's see if he can get something going, engaging the gun battle right now with AJ Lawhead.
There's
4-on-4 right now.
Axel Godin on the D side. He's got a pretty good position there. You can see the wider shot. He's into D2 and has a back player right behind him who's going to dip out, get to that tall stand-up, give him a little bit more support down that wire so he can move up. Try to wrap around, get a shot on that back temple, and then D1. There's the back line for Shock. Shock dug in, rolling their guns. They have this massive lead right now, 4-0. The stats are not good on teams coming back when it's 3-0, let alone 4-0. Talking about 90 percentile when the team that's down 3 loses, and now that Art Chaos is down 4, Aftershock is just going to bring their entrenching tools out and 12 pods and just shoot ropes of paint at Art Chaos to impede their progress forward.
Oh, looks like Lawhead might have gotten one. Yep, Lawhead comes walking off as Godin makes move into Dorito 3. Kirk Wozni is going to be his next target. As Kirk Wozni now switches sides, and that allows Godin to go into the 50 Dorito. Davey Simmons over there in the Dorito 1. He's trying to deal, and he does.
Looks like Art Chaos loses another one as Godin, he loses his back player, but Godin past the 50-yard line, trying to chop up Shock and help his team get a little closer here. Godin still going to work. Those are the back players on your screen right now for Shock, tucked in their bunkers. They have to deal with Godin. They have no choice, but only one player. Davey Simmons is the only player that has a gun on that D side of the field. Just these 3 players left for Shock. Sosin, Simmons, and Wozni. There's only 3 players left for Art Chaos as I think Chris Sosin got a shot on Zakharov on that D side of the field. But Art Chaos owns the snake too.
Davey Simmons right now all the way wrapped around on the snake side there for a second. Now he's back to the outside. Axel Godin very, very close to him. You see him right under the 0 on Art Chaos. As you see Axel Godin, Davey Simmons fighting him right there. Kirk Wozni. Lazarov could help him out, but he's swabbing his barrel. So really nothing to do right now.
Yeah, major penalty on Godin, and that is probably going to do it. It looks like Clint Moore, last player left alive for Art Chaos, as Lazarov heads to the box on that Godin penalty, and with 2 players left alive, you can see Sosin had just told Wozni, hey, slow it down. Let's make sure we get this point. That'll put 5 on the board. And with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go, who would have thought that, you know, if you did a poll from all the fans across the world, that Aftershock would come in here and completely shut out. Now, the way Shock had played at the first event, you'd be a fool if you didn't think they had a shot against Art Chaos. However, who would have thought they would skunk them this bad, Todd?
Man, I don't know. This is a tough one right now. We had a lot of instant Art Chaos fans who are probably at home right now going, man, what is going on? What is going on with my squad? But, I mean, Aftershock, you know, they played well last event. If it wasn't for all the penalties that they got, you know, might have finished a little bit better. You know, still ended up in 8th. They played for relegation, ended up staying in. But, I mean, ever since World Cup last year, you know, it feels like they just kind of found a groove and, you know, a lot of confidence. So,
and you can see Godin pleading his case, but it will be all for naught because I've never seen a major penalty overturned. So we'll be right back after this. So we are back here as Art Chaos getting completely and utterly decimated by Chicago Aftershock, and Shock is looking like a polished pro team right now. They're shooting guys off the break, they're making smart moves, they're communicating, their timing is on point, they got good game plans. So it looks like Art Chaos calls a smart timeout here. It's very intelligent, kind of slow the roll here, but They're going to have to push forward. They have no choice, even though they have that major penalty. 1:41 seconds left on that goddamn penalty. But with as Axel trying to push forward, doing all he can, and hey, that was a great job by Axel. Axel's a great player. We saw him with Moscow Red Legion when he came in as a rookie, did a great job. But it just maybe he was very angry about that penalty. So and I couldn't see where he got shot from over here. It was completely on the other side of the field on the D side. But right now, our Chaos not looking good, man. 1:41 on that penalty. They only have 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. They're down by 5. So we're going to see what they try to answer with right now.
Yeah, I mean, we said that they needed to have somebody try and get something going. And Axel Godin got up there, got a couple kills, got all the way on the other side of the field. But, he got no help. He had a body over here in the snake side, cleaned his gun the whole game. Wasn't doing anything. They had a back player, fill behind him, get shot. It's just, they're just not playing good team paintball right now. They're trying to get everybody involved, running both lines, trying to see if they can get some production out of somebody. But, really nobody getting it going right now.
Well, Todd, Konstantin Fedorov, 0 kills. Alexander Biernikov, 2. Sergey, 0. And Mishka, 2.
Yeah.
That is very, very rare. Konstantin Fedorov has just been stuffing for the past couple seasons. He was constantly setting the pace for the amount of confirmed kills out there, and just really struggling right now.
Yeah,
I think is it the layout? I don't know. Does he have the flu?
Well, here's the thing that I always liked about Jason Trozen. Konstantin Fedorov is a serial killer. If you send him out to the snake side, he doesn't get it done, Jason Trozen puts him on the Dorito side. If he ain't getting the Dorito side, send him up the middle. Konstantin Fedorov is my guy. I'm putting him wherever I got to put him to get things going. Every single game we see him running out here to the snake, and he gets shot again going to the snake corner. That's too many times that we've lost Fedorov on the break going out to the snake side. If you can't get your best player in a position to be successful, then it's hard to get the rest of the role players into their jobs doing what they need to do.
Konstantin Fedorov coming out here not having a kill is like Michael Jordan scoring 5 points in a basketball game. It's incredible. It's kind of shocker. I'm just kind of befuddled as to what is going on with our Chaos right now. They lost 2 yesterday. They got beat up by Dynasty 7-2, and then they played a really close game against the Ironmen 4-3. So that game was close. We're going to see the Ironmen coming up next, actually, and it's going to be that classic SoCal battle, Dynasty versus Ironmen. Dynasty went 2-0 yesterday, looking like the favorites here, really playing this field well.
Yeah, and that was in a game where the Ironmen had a penalty in the first 4 points of the game.
Yeah. The Ironmen were penalty machines in that match.
And here comes Sergey. Sergey's finally going to come up and get involved and get out of that tower. He goes up into the A. He's playing 3-on-5 right now, but Sergey gets a kill. Shoots the rookie, number 28.
Jacob
So
Tilliken. He's actually new pickup from Sweden. Sweden, notorious for amazing paintball. Joy Division was a top team for years. I was lucky enough to play on that team for a little bit. And came over to the States and proved themselves over here. And they've had a couple players that have guested for other teams, like the Tauntauns, that did really well. But we hadn't seen that kid much yet. But I hear he's pretty good. But if you're going to give him a rep, this is the time to give him a rep. But ends up getting shot out by Sergey. But he actually traded out with Sergey. So, hey, body for body at this point, 5 up, 5 points up, I'll take it.
Biernikov jumps into Snake 1 from the corner. Art Chaos trying to get something going over here. Now with Mishka back up in that center A again. They have these positions on the field that they can take because Aftershock's just going to sit in their spots in the back. Just 2 guys left now, Sosin and Wozni. As Sosin gets shot, he's leaving. Here comes Biernikov with just under 2 minutes left to go. Biernikov's going to run down Wozni. And Art Chaos with just under 2 minutes left to go in this game. Finally going to get on the board.
Well, at least this is good for their point spread, because who knows what's going to happen in the rest of the morning's division. And with things as close as they were, yesterday, Infamous, so the morning bracket is Dynasty, Art Chaos, Infamous, Shock, and the Ironmen. So the Ironmen, they went 1-0-1 yesterday. 1 win, no losses, and 1 tie. Infamous went no wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Dynasty 2-0, and Shock 1-1. So you know, every point counts here. So Art Chaos trying to mount some sort of a comeback with 1 minute and 39 seconds left. You can see them just heads down. I mean, look at that pit. That's the look of a beaten person right there. Unfortunately for the Art Chaos fans out there. But, you know, hey man, the road is long. Even if they blow out in this event, they still have a chance, and they have to play in a relegation game. Well, they got tomorrow to prove themselves too. So next up, San Diego Dynasty, Los Angeles Ironman. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. So, man, Shock looking dominant right now, looking like they are going to take this victory here against a highly touted and favored Art Chaos. I don't think anybody that lives outside the Chicagoland area would have chosen Shock to win this game and win it as big as they did. I don't want to take anything away from them or anger Mikey Bruno, because he can get angry at me sometimes for what I say up here.
Maddie! Maddie!
Matt, you were torturing me last night.
Maddie, what's up with that?
No, nothing but love for Mikey Bruno. And what a great job he's done with the team. But, you know, hey, let's just call a spade a spade. It's, you know, really, it's just looking terrible for Art Chaos. It has got 5 guys shot out in 15 seconds, 20 seconds here. What was that, 15-second point?
Yeah,
20-second point?
20 seconds.
So Shock looking really doing well for their point spread, Todd, and that breaks down real well for them as with their chances to advance to Sunday. They still have to play the Ironman next, and then we're going to see how Ironman do against Dynasty coming up after this game. After that game, it'll be Infamous Art Chaos, Ironman Shock, Infamous Dynasty. God, I love this morning bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and after Art Chaos right now, by trying to make those aggressive game plans, losing bodies is definitely helping Aftershock's point spread. You know, like you said, you know, Aftershock having to play Ironman later today, you know, that's, I mean, Dynasty plays Infamous and Ironman, right? So, I mean, it's definitely still a lot of different things that could happen here. You know, we saw Infamous with 1 loss and 1 tie yesterday. You know, they lost to Aftershock, but Aftershock's now going to have 2 wins and 1 loss. You know, but this point spread right now, you know, up 6-1. Chance to go 7-1. You know, I mean, worst case scenario that, you know, this game ends 6-1. They got a 5-point spread. You know, and the Ironmen with a tie and a win.
It's too early to call.
Yeah.
It's too early. It's really, really too early to call.
Yeah. You know, I mean, because the next game is going to be an awesome game, Dynasty Ironman.
Well, that's why each day is interesting. To me, this is how the days break down. Friday, all right, new event. How much prep did everybody do? Who's going to step up this weekend? You start to find that out. But then again, we always say it because it's true. Each day is a new day. Then Saturday's fascinating because you're going to find out, 1, who are the 4 teams that are going to push on and move on to Sunday? Who are the 4 teams that are going to have to play in the relegation games? So that's why, you know, as Saturday starts ticking down, we get to find all that stuff out. So that's interesting. And then Sunday, of course, the whole reason you play paintball is to make it to Sunday, because that's where we decide who the best is, and that's the best of the best of that tournament. So each day is awesome. Now, big move up the center by Art Chaos, trying to put a point on the board to at least preserve something here and help their point spread out a little bit. Luke Shuk makes his move into the snake. Looks like Aftershock bodies getting peeled off here. Konstantin Fedorov moving forward, and here comes Yernikov. And quick point here for Art Chaos. Sergey on the stunt had grabbed the flag already, and he's going to hang it.
Ooh.
So nice play here.
Wow, nice aggressive
by
game
Art
plan.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Mishka Kesnev and Sergey getting on the board.
So Chicago Aftershock not able to run out that last minute and 22. Going to cost them another point on their point spread. But 50 seconds left. That was a 30-second point.
Yeah, well, it's always kills on the break, man. You shoot 2 guys on the break, makes it a little bit easier. So with 50 seconds left, score 6-2. We're going to be right back after this.
Are you ready for an explosion of paintball videos? Then stay tuned to paintballaccess.com because the CXBL is back for their 10th anniversary season. Catch all the best pro talent north of the border as teams battle it out in full X-Ball matches. Paintballaccess.com, on the field, in the pits, behind the scenes.
So this game winding down, score 6-2, Shock. Dominant performance this morning. Looking amazing today against our Chaos. Next up, Dynasty and Ironman. Todd, how you feeling about that game?
Well, I really like the way Shane Pestana's got the Ironman playing. You know, they're taking risks, they're playing aggressive. You know, no holds bar out there on the field. Dynasty's playing very, very conservative. You know, it's the way that they won both tournaments last year. You know, keeping bodies alive and not risking anything, and then trying to, you know, play off their talent, win gun battles. You know, but it's going to be crazy. I think the Ironmen need to tighten it up on their penalties. You know, they got way too many penalties yesterday. I think they're still trying to find the groove in their rotation, but I mean, it's going to be a big game for them, and you know, Shane's a big game type of guy, you know, as well as Marcelo and Mouse and A-Rod, so, you know, and then all of them over there on the Dynasty side, so I think it's going to be an epic battle. I don't want to call it too early. I'd like to see, just have fun watching it play out.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. You know, Marcelo did not have a good day yesterday, especially in the beginning. Got a couple penalties. This is very rare for him. So, you know, him being such a big player, I expect him to step it up today. Karl Markowski gets eaten up. Here comes Konstantin Fedorov feasting down the center of the field. And a couple players got shot for our Chaos pretty quick. Our Chaos trying to put a couple more points, put another point on the board here and get it a little closer to have somewhat of a more respectable point spread than the shutout we were looking at for the first half of this game. So Fedorov shocks up a couple kills, gets himself a 3-pack. Sergey looks like he got himself one too. So that solid line for our Chaos, who really struggled early on. Both lines from our Chaos struggled, but Shock will take this victory here. Just 21 seconds to go, but we will see another point because, you know, our Chaos, after these couple quick points they've scored, you know, Shock kind of just was like, we got this one in the bag.
Yeah, can't stop playing hard.
We're gonna pump the brakes.
Yeah, can't do that.
And now Aftershock's calling a timeout, and you might think, well, why are they doing that? This game's over pretty much. It's 21 seconds, but because these games are so close, because this bracket is so close, really important. So they had an awesome point spread. Now they only have a 3-point spread. It's still a W, man. Take the W any way you can get it. But point spread is going to play a factor, and since Aftershock went 1-1 yesterday, and they still have to play the Ironman this afternoon, and that's going to be a close match. I don't know, though. You know, thinking about, I mean, I want to see how the Ironman play Dynasty, but with as good as Aftershock is playing, I almost might want to give them the advantage in that game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough, you know.
Yes.
I mean, okay, who on the Ironman is going to step up?
I think a lot of the way that game's going to go is going to depend on how Dynasty and the Ironman game finishes. So, I mean, if Ironman loses to Dynasty, then they're definitely going to have to come out and try and beat the brakes off of Aftershock.
Yeah.
What I'm concerned about right now is the lesson that Aftershock is learning in closing out games. You know, you go up 6-1 on a team and then kind of come out soft, you know, and allow our Chaos to put 2 points on the board on a field in a tournament where you need to have point spread.
Yeah, well, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly. She's down in the pits.
I am down in the Art Chaos tent with Konstantin Fedorov. Now, you guys were down quite a bit. You only have 21 seconds on the clock, but you just got 2 extremely quick points, which is difficult on this field. Going into this last 21 seconds, what is the best strategy you guys can come up with?
I don't know. I mean, we have 2 rough days. We lost like 2 games already, so I don't know. Just have fun and play aggressive. That's it. We just lost our next one. We'll see.
Those 2 last points, though, were very impressive. Do you think you were just missing that aggression and you just proved that you can be aggressive on this field?
We're just waking up a little bit later. I mean, it's too late, but I mean, we're still up.
All right. Well, thank you so much. They are down 3 points, 6-3. We've only got 21 seconds on the clock, but we'll see if they can get another point on the board.
So Shock had called that timeout to slow the momentum. 2 reasons, really. The 2 big reasons you see timeouts called is 1, slow the momentum down, or 2, some sort of issue with equipment. Timeouts are called for that. Third one would be maybe altering game plans.
Well,
you got any more to add? More reasons to call timeout?
The air station broke.
Got to get the mud out my shoes. Yeah, so this game brought to you by Empire Paintball Key Action Sports, one of the big supporters of the game. And if it wasn't for companies like Key, Planet, Dye, GI, paintball does not move forward. So help support the people supporting the game. 21 seconds to go here. Next up, Dynasty and Ironman. And about 30 seconds before the start of this point. On the field for Chaos, Alexander Bernikov, Konstantin Fedorov, Miska Kiesnev, Sergei Solnaiskov, Pavel Lukashuk. On the flip side, Chicago Aftershock, they got Rob Velez, the rookie, Jacob Tillikin. Tillikainen. Man, those Scandinavian names are hard to pronounce. Cliff Ginter, Brian McKenna, and Kurt Wozni. So getting some reps for some of their guys that haven't really been playing a lot of points. So Aftershock running that starting 5 line, Todd. They don't have 2 lines. Running that skeleton crew. So getting some more of their guys some reps. Let's see how they do here. Can they hold off the aggressive push of our Chaos, who's going to try to minimize this point spread in this loss that they're about to take. And I don't think they're going to get another one. Lost Lukashuk over here on the snake side, and here comes the push from Sergei up the center. Fedorov gets shot. Sergei pushing forward as time expires. So the victory will go to Chicago Aftershock, and an ecstatic Chicago Aftershock jumps out of their bunkers to high-five each other, and they should be proud. Representing the Midwest and the Aftershock legacy. Aftershock, it's been years since Aftershock has been a top team, but you know, Aftershock was one of the big 3 back in the day that really started taking paintball to another level. It was All-Americans, Ironman, and Aftershock. Those were the 3 legendary teams representing California, the East Coast, and the Midwest. And in Shock, you know, they won a bunch of World Cups in a row. They were that dominant team in the late 90s, early 2000s that you did not want to play. Todd, you played on Aftershock for a while.
Yep.
And played against Aftershock when you weren't on the team. You know, and so it's really kind of cool to see a legend like Mikey Bruno, who was one of the top players on that team during the rise to fame, and one of the team, or one of the that aggressive spark plug that every team has to have in order to try to do something in the paintball world, to come back after real life struggles and to persevere through those things, and then try to bring that mental strength to this young, hungry Chicago Aftershock team that's really, really starting to impress a lot of people and gain some fans, and rightfully so. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She's down the sidelines.
Hey guys, I am down here with Carl Markowski and Mikey Bruno from Chicago Aftershock. They just beat Art Chaos 6-3. It was a great game. Congratulations. Now, during that 3rd point, you got down the snake really well. You got into the 50 snake. When you get there, it's difficult on this field. How effective can it be?
It's real effective. It turns a lot of guns and opens up the Dorito side. But it's also one of those spots where a lot of people can shoot you, so you just stay calm, stay alive. A couple points got wild there, but as long as we keep playing like we're playing calm and collective, I think we're going to have more games like this.
Definitely, and you were in the 50 snake for a while, and you decided to run down the field. What made you make that decision at that moment?
Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's kind of, like I said before, a gut feeling thing, and I felt like I just had the time to do it and try to make something happen.
Mikey, Aftershock has been impressing us time and time again since World Cup last season. What has been making the difference? What are you doing with these guys in practices to make them more cohesive?
I mean, most of it is just getting the guys to believe, and the experience, and bringing some of these other experienced players in. And we're all a tight-knit group. We're very tight. And it's just playing together, and the communication is key. So, and we're pretty on point with that. So as long as we settle down, we're fine.
Art Chaos started bringing it when there was very little time on the board, but what problems did you see them making that you took advantage of?
I mean, they did the same thing. They went snake side 3-3-3, and we could shoot them going there. I don't know. That's their game plan, but we just stuck with ours. I mean, they did run a couple points on us, but that was more my fault than anything. I changed some personnel and I did some different things. So that was my fault.
Well, you guys still won. Congratulations. Aftershock has won 2 out of 3 games. Next up, we have Dynasty versus Ironman. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
So amazing job by Chicago Aftershock, really earning a lot of respect out here. Congratulations to them. They still have one more game later on in this morning's competition against the Los Angeles Ironmen. Speaking of Ironmen, we are about to watch them play San Diego Dynasty. We've won 2 games already so far. So awesome SoCal matchup coming at you. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez, and we will be right back.